Though it is not fully, Tamayo was born at least during the Oi era of Japan, 500 years before the Taisho era. Shortly before she became a demon, Tamayo fell ill with a life-threatening disease at the age of 19 and began seeking a cure, which is how she first came across Muzan Kibutsuji. Hiding his true intentions, Muzan offered to treat Tamayo's illness. When she naively accepted, he swiftly transformed her into a demon and left her to run rampant around the town. She killed not only her husband and children while on this rampage, but also a number of other innocent lives. After the realization of what she had done to her family sunk in, she fell into a void of despair. It is hinted that at some point in her new life, Tamayo had attempted to kill Muzan to avenge her family, and as revenge on him for turning her into a demon, a battle she lost. With her spirit completely broken by the Demon King, due to seeing the massive difference in power between herself and him, she eventually became his unwilling servant in defeat. One day, while walking with Muzan in a bamboo forest, the demons would encounter a demon slayer named Yoriichi Tatsugikuni. Due to recently gaining a demon who possessed the ability to use a breathing style, Muzan immediately tried to kill him after deeming him weak and unremarkable. To his and Tamayo's shock, Yoriichi not only was able to avoid Muzan's attacks up close, but completely overpowered him in an instant, slicing the Demon King into several pieces before he could react. Witnessing the clash close up, Tamayo watched with renewed hope that the man who ruined her life was about to meet his end at the hands of a demon slayer. After Muzan fled by scattering himself to hundreds of pieces, which still proved to be close due to Yoriichi's speed, Tamayo became greatly upset at his escape and hatefully yelled out Muzan's name in anger. Suddenly, she realized that she was not dead after saying his name, due to Yoriichi causing Muzan to expend so much power to escape. His curse failed to kill her. As Yoriichi sheathed his blade to spare Tamayo, she began to talk about Muzan's powers and weaknesses, while noting that it is unlikely he will see him again. After Yoriichi let her escape, Tamayo managed to survive through consuming animals and human corpses. She recalls that Yoriichi said that he believed in her wish to defeat Muzan, so she fought her internal instincts and refused to attack humans, despite all the pain she felt. A period of time elapses, so Tamayo regained her sanity and proceeded to set up a life in which she could study the biology of demons and seek a cure. After 200 years of study, Tamayo becomes capable enough with medicine to modify her body so that she can function without eating humans. One day, she met Yushiro as a sick young boy with nowhere to go. With his consent, she applies the same method of modification she used on herself to convert him into a demon, and Yushiro has remained her faithful and protective assistant ever since. Infinity Castle Arc. Tamayo appears once again after Muzan's attack on the Ubuyashiki residence, shortly after Kagaya Ubuyashiki, alongside his wife and two of his daughters, blew Muzan and themselves up. As Muzan tries to recover from the wounds he received during the explosion, Tamayo releases her flesh seed attack, sending large, thorn-like spikes out to pierce through his body. Muzan realizes that he's been immobilized by a blood demon art and begins to try and absorb the spikes, but Tamayo suddenly rushes towards him and pushes her fist through his stomach. Bewildered, Muzan asks her why she's here and considers what her goal might be in doing this, and she explains that her fist contains a drug that can turn a demon back into a human. An expression of shock forms on Muzan's face as he voices his denial of that possibility, but Tamayo just smiles menacingly and says that it's definitely real, although she didn't achieve it alone. Muzan says that Tamayo is one stubborn woman and that her hatred towards him is unjust, since it wasn't him who killed her family, it was herself. Now crying, Tamayo screams that she wouldn't have become a demon if she knew that would be the outcome, since all she wanted was to recover from her disease so she could see her kids grow up. As Muzan places his hand on Tamayo's head and begins to crush her eye with his thumb to reopen the wounds further, Muzan goes on to remind the demon of how she killed even more humans after her family as she fell into despair, which Tamayo then admits to. She says that that is why she must pay for her sins, and why both her and Muzan were going to die right there, then yelling for Guillaume, Himejima to attack her, and Muzan with the intention to kill. The stone Hashira swings his spiked flail at the demons, knocking Muzen's head clean off. However, the demon lord simply regenerates his lost limb, refusing to die, and Gyomei decides to resort to keeping him restrained until sunrise so he can let the sun disintegrate him. Just then, while still clutching Tamayo's head and much to Gyomei's surprise, Muzan unleashes black blood, brambles. Gyomei quickly protects himself with his third breathing style, and, right on cue, Sanemi Shinazugawa, Giyu Tomioka, Muichiro Tokito, Tanjiro Kamado, Shinobu Kocho, Mitsuri Kanroji, and Obana Aiguro appear to join the battle. Once Akaza, Doma, and Kokushibo have successfully been eliminated, it is revealed that Muzen has revived himself and evolved his body into a new form. After swiftly dealing with the Demon Slayer squad sent after him, Muzen holds up the detached head of Tamayo. As he stares her down, he declares that the drug was a failure. Tamayo curses Muzan to hell, only for him to declare he will not be defeated, as hundreds of humans have said the same as her. In Tamayo's last moments, she pleads for Muzen to give her family back. He tells her to return to the side of the family she killed, crushing her skull afterwards. This is felt by Yushiro, who is seemingly sent into a rage by her death.